Graduation dread and the post-PhD job hunt. Now, this is something I've talked about before, more for undergraduate and master's students, and typically the difference here is because of you have a cohort. The cohort for your PhD might be a mixture of people who are at various stages of their program, or you might be the only one in your center or faculty who's doing a PhD at the time, and as a result, you are truly on your own with it. Now, as we know, I've talked about the isolating side of the PhD before, but the graduation experience, therefore, you still have the feeling of where do I go next? What am I doing after this? And you're looking for that next opportunity. Now, whether you have colleagues who are still doing their PhD or you have colleagues who are staff members who are working in your centre or faculty, they'll be wondering where you're going next and what your plans are. And you can have a bit of added pressure from that because at the end of the day, the closest comparison to how the graduating your PhD or finishing your PhD can feel is like you're being made redundant in some degree, because like with any fixed term contract, it's come to its end and you've got to decide where do you go next. Are you pursuing whatever academic, research or industry related opportunity, but where are you going? It will be a question that you often get asked. Now, equally, when you have that, the other side of this, which is a bit of an oddity for the PhD, is you can technically finish your PhD before you get to your graduation, but you still have a bit of this experience where you're almost in like a pseudo graduation or limbo stage, because you finished it, your funding's run out, and you might still have corrections to do. And therefore your PhD has been finished in name only. And that can be a weird experience. And my own personal experience, I have some corrections still to do. So whilst I've been job hunting, the corrections have largely been paused while I'm still looking at what opportunity I want to find. And therefore, that can be a bit of a challenge. This can also vary based on how many corrections you have. Some people have a lot of corrections to do. Some people have minor amendments to do. Equally, some people might have failed their Viva and have to do that again and therefore have to do further experimentation or whatever on their study. And all of that can have a challenging impact on you as an individual as well as you as a researcher. And it's something that can be an interesting and challenging experience to grapple with, because at the end of the day, you're in that sort of limbo stage. Now, even when you've graduated completely, you've got your date sorted, you've been told you passed all of the assessments for your PhD, you've got to the end of it, you can still have that graduation dread at the end because you might not know where you're going next. All of that can be a complete and utter challenge, and everyone can experience this differently. So it's just to say, if you are experiencing a bit of graduation dread, then it's perfectly normal.